European trophy, obviously, in the last season, flying at the start of the season. I think you won 7 of your opening 10 games in all competition, and you lose a few, and the narrative seems to change. Does that ever surprise you?
No, but look, we can't deny it. We had a bad week. But if you look at what we've done in the other, 7-8 weeks prior to it, we've been pretty pleased with what we've done. Some good results, some hard games, great start in the Conference League. So, yeah, last week was a difficult week, and we want to get back on track and get rid of those couple of bad results.
So that's obviously in your thinking when you do select a team. It would be nice to get at least a good performance.
Yeah, getting a win is the most important thing. That's as always. So we'll do our best to try and win the game.
Obviously, for Declan, Mikel Arteta is saying that he'll be involved. He thinks he'll be involved, but obviously that could mean on the bench or it could mean starting. But either way, he looks like he's going to be back in the London Stadium. What kind of response do you hope he'll get from the crowd? And what kind of response do you think he'll get?
Well, I hope he will be back because. You've got to remember this is the man who lifted the first European trophy in 45 years, was it? 50 years. So he should be welcomed back with open arms, and we're all looking forward to seeing him again. He was a brilliant member of the team, led the team brilliantly well, conducted himself impeccably as a West Ham captain, as a player in his time here. So. I'm really looking forward to seeing Dec. I've not seen him since he left, and I hope he does. He does well. I don't know if I want him to play, but I hope he's there.
And it's not always the case that a player leaves, an important player leaves, but leaves in the right way. Sometimes it's a bit messy, isn't it? But that wasn't the case.
No, well, I think if you see the way Dec, conducted himself throughout, he was involved with the supporters. He was always seen helping the club out when needed, and the most important thing was that he gave 100% in every game, even though we all sort of knew that he'd probably not be staying at West Ham. So, all credit to him. He conducted himself brilliantly well, and for that alone, deserves to be cheered.
Last time Arsenal came to the London Stadium, you put a bit of a dent in their title ambitions. I think your draw with you came up in 2-0 down, I think. And that draw was one of 3 in a row, then they lost to Man City, and they never really got back to the top of the table.
Well, I would hate to think it was just us that was the reason for it, because I know Mikel well, and I want him to do really well, but I'm sure he'll know there was other games which played its part. But look, my job's to try and win, draw, get results, and we'll try and do that again in this cup game.
And I don't want to be a party pooper, but dabble on things like I sometimes have been accused of doing. But your personal record against Arsenal in the League Cup is played for, lost for, one at Preston, remember that? 2 at Everton and 1 with Arsenal.
Yeah.
Another reason to put that right.
Yeah, look, let's remember Arsenal over many years have had some great teams, and I was fortunate or unfortunate enough to come up against them quite often in the Premier League and in cup competition. So, Arsenal have had great players over many years, so it's always been a tough task.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Okay. Other questions? Dan from Haters.
Yeah, sure. Hi, David. I was going to say, what have you made of Declan since he's gone to Arsenal? I mean, maybe his role's changed a little bit. What have you made of the impact that he's had on the team since he's gone there?
Well, they've got a really good manager there who you should probably be asking him that question, not me. I can only tell you what he done for me at West Ham and what he done for West Ham. He done a brilliant job here for West Ham, performed great, as I said, led terrifically well, was a great colleague and personality in and around the club and the dressing room. So, no, we miss him, but we've moved on as well, and we had to do so.
I was about Ham Utd as well. It's had a really good game on Sunday despite the result. I mean, how impressed have you been with the way he's adapted to the Premier League? And how important it could be?
Well, I think it's too early to ask MD to have they adapted to the Premier League yet, who came in the summer, because I think that it takes a few months for everybody to, whether they're doing well or whether they're doing badly, you've got to give them some time. I think Mo has settled in quite well, and generally I think he's come off the bench and helped us in some games. He started the other day and played well. We see him as a big player for us, but he's young, and we're not pushing too hard, expecting too much too soon. He's been a major signing for us, and we want him to improve and come along at his own speed. I think he's got. I think he would consider himself being able to play. He could be a midfield player. He could also be. He could play off the right for us. He's even played centre forward for Ajax as well. I speak to Johnny Heitinger about it. So I think all those positions are really important for us, because we know that it will give us a bit of variation and make it harder for people to work out exactly how we're going to play as well.
Arsenal obviously made some big signings in the summer. Can you notice a difference between them this season?
Sorry, I missed the first bit.
That's what I say. Arsenal made some big signings in the summer. Obviously, Declan Rice being one of them. Can you see the difference between them last season and this season? Do you think there's a change?
Well, again, they've got a really good manager who would answer that question much better than me.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, any others? Ellen? No? Andy?
Have you seen a notable change in how balance of your midfielders, obviously with Edson coming in, he sort of hit the ground running, back out, as you said, it's like different role, Suchek is he bends back, so has the actual whole midfield dynamic changed?
I think we're changing ourselves. I think we're probably playing a slightly more open and expansive game than we've played before, which in some ways is good, but in other ways not. So we're trying to look to open things up a little bit more. But again, there's some games in the Premier League where it's very hard. If you're not going to have the ball, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to work out what games they might be. There'll be other games where you have much more of the ball, and maybe you can play with some more flair players and try other ways. So we're certainly trying to do that. And look, I think we've shown some really good signs in the early part. We've not had a good week last week, but we're showing some really good signs, and I think improvement in some of our football.
But also, you asked about Sunday about possession stats and how the team seem to sort of thrive in that counter-attacking role against certain opponents. Like, is that something that's just solely fixed on the training ground?
No, we practice. We all the time to keep the ball. Most teams do. You're practicing. Don't give the ball away. Make sure you're in possession of the ball. And I think that there has been signs that we've got better. But lots of our form over the last few years, or even if you look at the start of our season, was maybe when we didn't have as much of the ball. So having possession doesn't necessarily mean that you win the games. And I've said many times, when I was winning with very little possession, I was happy to win, and it's the same. I'd like to win rather than have possession, if that's what it comes down to. But if you can have good possession and win, then that's a double whammy.
But then when you get like an Arsenal team who generally have a lot more possession
Yes, they do.
in an average game,
Yeah.
you kind of think that maybe because of how things have gone for West Ham this season, that suddenly you pick up a bit more of a chance because you can get into the space.
Yeah, I think so. But I think there's also part of us, as I said, I alluded to there, that we're trying to find a way of becoming a little bit more open, and a little bit more trying to find if we can get some more attacks. Now, our last couple of games we've hardly made any chances, which is the surprise to me more than anything, because that's not been the way we've been sort of training towards, or what we've been doing. So that's a bit we need to sort of keep working on to see if we can get more chances from what we're doing. And if we don't, then obviously we'd need to go back and sit in a low block and wait and counter-attack teams when those opportunities come.
Okay. Thanks,
Okay,
everybody.
cheers, thank you.
Thanks,